One. And hello and welcome. Today is Tuesday, January the 26th, and it's 12 noon in Ocean Beach, California. And this is the recording of the Ocean Beach Networking Group Zoom call. And I'm very excited. Today we have our guest speaker is Craig Casey with NorthCountyAuctions.com, and he's going to be telling us about different things in terms of how do you sell things online. Maybe you're decluttering your garage, you have a vehicle, heavy equipment, any kind of expensive jewelry, old baseball cards, things that aren't making you money and you want the cash in your pocket now. So I'm excited to hear his presentation, and we're going to try to make it interactive and get everyone talking. And I know Craig's going to hit the ball out of the park because I know Craig well. And I'm looking for a grand slam today, Craig. So before we turn it over to Craig, again, we're going to go around the room and everyone's going to have a minute or two to introduce yourself. And we want to know, don't hesitate to give us your web address if you have a website. If you don't have a website, talk to me, I can help you. Give out your name and what's motivating you to network. And then the icebreaker question today is, have you ever sold anything online? And if you did, tell us how it went. If you don't like the icebreaker question, the default question that you can always answer instead of that is, what's your favorite restaurant? And I understand the governor is opening things up a little bit. So we're going to have outdoor dining again, which is something I'm excited about. I'm tired of all those takeout boxes. So having said all that, do I have any volunteers to go first to introduce themselves?
Chuck, I'll go ahead and, go ahead. This is Arthur.
Arthur, go for it.
Oh, go for it.
Okay, I better go first before my Bluetooth shuts off again. So if it does, I apologize. So my name is Arthur Robertson. I actually just moved here in November, and Chuck's gonna help me out a little bit in terms of process of getting over here. So I own a company called Primary Lending Source. What we do is we do commercial finance and hard money loan. The bulk of what we do is we help individuals buy a business, finance a business, or finance a business with real estate, or refinance an existing business or real estate. In addition, we will do a bridge. If somebody is going through a hard time and they've got a lot of equity in their property and they just need that time, we'll do a bridge and then eventually do a takeout and do the perm. We're also a licensed real estate brokerage in Washington, and we're working our way up to California. So, anyways, that's the bulk of it.
Okay. And what about the icebreaker? Yeah.
Oh, so I have sold recently something online through Facebook. I had an extra bicycle rack that goes in the back of a car or truck, and so yeah, that was it.
Facebook Marketplace.
Yes, correct.
Okay, yeah. Interesting. Well, great job, and your Bluetooth held up nicely, so that's good. So let's see, someone else had volunteered to go first. Was that Liz?
Sure, I'll go. ElizabethBrave.com, bookkeeper. I work with commercial and nonprofit companies. I've been doing bookkeeping for, 15 years, and had my own business for almost 5 years now. I serve all kinds of companies. The only area I really don't work in much is construction, but that doesn't mean I have architecture clients and other types of tech for sure. And as far as the icebreaker question goes, years ago I sold a car online, a really long time ago, like 1999. And I advertised a home online and sold it. I literally got a handwritten letter in the mail and sold a home in Seattle, if you can believe that. And recently I've tried to sell some some purchases, like clothing that I got that I didn't, that wasn't appropriate for me, that couldn't be returned. And I have not been able to sell that. So that's all I have. Thank you.
All right, great job. So keep Elizabeth in mind if you have bookkeeper referrals for her. All right, so let's see. I'm going to call on Robert Burns. He looks like he might be ready to go. Except I don't hear you. Let's see if your microphone. It was working. There it is. I hear you now. Or is that Arthur? No. Can't hear. All right, let's try AJ. Are you ready to go, AJ?
Sure. My name is AJ Allen, and I'm with Creducation. We do credit education, optimization, and debt settlement. We've been here in San Diego, doing business in San Diego for 15 years, almost. April 15th will be 15 years. And so we teach you about credit. We educate you about credit. We negotiate debt. Similar to Allison, we only get paid if we perform. AJ Allen with Creducation.
And what about the icebreaker question?
Yeah, I think I've sold a few things online, and it's okay.
Okay, and so Robert, I know we're not able to hear you, but we do have this handy dandy chat line. I happen to know what your web address is because I helped you with it. It's oblaw.com. And so feel free to introduce yourself through the chat since we're having challenges with the microphone, and then I'll read it off for anyone that can't get into the chat system. And then how about Allison? Why don't you tell us a little bit more? I know in the pregame you kind of maybe said it, but so don't feel bad if you repeat yourself, but you do have the icebreaker question to answer as well.
Sure. So sorry for anyone that is hearing all the double information, but for anyone else listening later, my name is Allison Hunt with Premier Solutions, and we help businesses and individuals save money on their wireless and cable monthly bills. So we negotiate directly with your service providers on your behalf to secure the best possible discounts and savings. And the process is very simple. You send over a copy of your bills, we review them and let you know if we can help you or not. And then you sign a service agreement authorizing us access to your accounts, and we call and do the negotiations on your behalf. And so similar to what AJ mentioned, we only collect any money if we are able to save you money. So we collect 40% of the total savings for the calendar year. Our success rate is 93%, and we save our clients on average of about $3,000 per year. Then as far as the icebreaker question, I have sold plenty of furniture online. I've done a lot of Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. Just in general, when I move and want to start anew with some things, I've sold furniture pieces online. And my favorite restaurant, which I cannot wait to get back to, is OB Noodle House, actually.
Awesome, great job. And so let's see, Robert had written in the chat, Robert Burns of www.oblaw.com. Just having spent a small fortune to free myself from webcam audio in favor of a ridiculously expensive professional microphone and several weeks of severe glitches using Zoom and Skype. And let's see if there was something else in there. But his website is at oblaw.com. And Robert, if you have any other information you want to provide or answer the icebreaker, feel free to do so. And I think everyone had a minute or so to introduce themselves. Did I forget anyone? I haven't gone yet. So if I skipped you, raise your hand. Other than that, so my name is Chuck. I think you guys all know me, and I'm the founder and organizer of the group. And it looks like we've got Dan Dennison joining us too. So we'll give him a second to log in. And I help small businesses with web marketing. I use WordPress. I do search engine optimization. I also do some YouTube marketing, and I'm excited to be working with Craig. I'm going to do my first podcast with Craig. We're going to do some podcasting using YouTube. And so in terms of something that I sold online, the thing that comes to mind is I had a Nissan hardbody truck, and this is a while ago, and I put it on Craigslist, and I can tell you that was an absolute nightmare because I got so many flaky people that said, "Oh yeah, yeah, I want to come look at your truck," and then they just ghosted me. They would never show up. I kept cutting the price. It just took months and months. Meanwhile, it was sitting there. Finally got rid of it. So not a good experience, but I did finally unload it. And then let's see, before we turn it over to Craig, let's see if Dan, I'm going to click on ask to unmute, if Dan would like to introduce himself. I'm not sure. Dan, can you hear us now?
Yeah, I can. Do you hear me?
I do. I don't see your camera that you normally have, but I can hear you. You're just great.
I'm trying to set it up right now.
Okay. Well, we just finished. Everyone has introduced themselves. So the icebreaker question today is tell us about something that you sold online. And so would you like to introduce yourself to the group and tell us a little bit more about what's motivating you to network today?
Sure. Yeah. My name's Dan Dennison, and I've lived here, I guess, about 8 years now. And I grew up in Chula Vista and lived all around the country. And Laura and I've had like 33 different addresses over the years. But anyway, we came back here after the real estate economy just totally cratered in New Mexico. And that's been my background is large project developments in multiple states. And I'm now practicing real estate, both commercial and residential. And I like to come here just to kind of keep in touch with what's going on in our great community. Ocean Beach really is a special place. And I find it enjoyable to kind of meet some people online and to learn things. And I appreciate being here.
Awesome. Great job. And so I'm gonna, oh, I saw Dan there for a second. So I'm gonna turn it over to Craig. Now, Craig, I have set an alarm on my phone for 12:55. So if it does go that long, I'm gonna interrupt you and say you got 5 minutes to wrap it up. If it doesn't go that long, that's perfectly fine as well. We don't have to go to 1 o'clock, but I do want to be respectful of people's time. So Craig, thank you so much for offering to speak today, and please take it away.
Time is money, Chuck. Let's put the two together.
Say it again.
Time is money. Let's put the two together.
Put the two together. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm Craig Casey. I'm the Supreme Leader at NorthCountyAuctions.com. Right now, we're a $2 million company. We're turning into a $10 million company. Just to give you a synopsis, we have sold a couple things online. Right now, we have a boatyard slash tool auction down in Chula Vista. We have everything you need to build your own boat, the equipment and supplies, materials. And if you want to build your own boat, you can go down to our Chula Vista auction. In February, we have our collector's auction for Valentine's Day. It ends the 7th of February. So you have until the 14th to get it and present it to your significant other. We have gems, coins, jewelry, and a wedding dresses, and a 6-foot stuffed African lion. And then we have a Poway Fun Bowl. If you want to set up a bowling alley in your living room, we have everything to do that. Pin setters, balls, shoes, consoles, scorekeepers. You can set up a bowling alley in your living room. So that's the Poway Fun Bowl auction. And we have the Ides of March collector's auction.
I'm sorry, hey, Craig, can you do it in your bedroom also, or is it just in your living room?
Whatever your proclivities are, however you want to party, we'll party. We also have the Ides of March collector's auction, gems, oddities, coins, antique store. We have an antique store coming in, and that's our in the middle of March, our Ides of March auction. So that gives you kind of a synopsis of some of the weirdness that we're selling online. We can do a question and answer, or do you guys have any questions about the auction, buying in the auction, selling in the auction?
So what's if someone wants to learn more, what is your web address?
NorthCountyAuctions.com. It's in the chat.
Excellent, excellent. And so yeah, if let's open it up for Q&A. Who has questions about selling things online, whether it's Facebook Marketplace, whether it's Craigslist, eBay? What other channels are there for selling things online besides those, Craig?
I mean, there's OfferUp. There's a lot of your traditional bottlenecks, but they are bottlenecks. There's local traffic. Craigslist is more of a local traffic bottleneck. eBay is a national bottleneck, but then you've got to ship it. There's a warranty. There's no seller protection. They can say they never got it. There's a lot of problems wrong with eBay. It's hard to scale an eBay business because of the risk that the sellers take. So there's different venues, there's different venues. A lot of things that we sell are not safe to sell on Craigslist, guns, gems, coins, jewelry, vehicles. If you Google Craigslist murders, the buyers are stabbing the sellers are shooting the buyers, all kinds of it's not especially with the COVID now. So, we comply with the COVID requirements. So we do a lot of shipping here, or you can pick up your items curbside. And we also have the infrastructure. We have dogs and cameras and gates so that people are polite. So that's what, selling online can also be dangerous, So that's some of the things, some of the precautions we're taking here.
Tell us about some of the more interesting things that you've had for auction, like maybe an exotic animal or a tank or a fire truck or heavy equipment, maybe something, a rare baseball card. Tell us about some of the crazy things you've sold.
Dungeons.
Dungeon. A fun dungeon. Well, we have this right here. I could talk about the current auction. I've sold a ton of that crazy stuff. But I want to talk to you about what we have here and now, because we're all in the present. We can't go back in time and buy that stuff, but you can buy this stuff. There's an old Mills slot machine. There's a 6-foot African lion. Bunch of antique furniture. I don't know if you guys are getting that or not.
Yeah.
This is our warehouse.
You're going way too quick. I wasn't able to tell whether the lion was a lion or a lioness.
Looks like a lioness to me.
Not sure. Got about 3,000 sports cards. Got a bunch of antique furniture, and we get all sorts of collectibles.
Are the cards complete?
Complete sets?
Yeah.
We had 3 truckloads come in. So in terms of sets, you're a drinker. Oh, aren't you, Dan, aren't you the sports guy? We got comic books. Depending on how you party, we got wedding dresses. I'm going to show you some of the sports stuff that came in today, which is actually pretty cool.
Any golf stuff in there?
You guys like to play the slots, have your own slot machine.
So Craig, we have a question in on the chat line. I love this question, Robert. Are there apps and bots on the internet to trounce human bidders? Do you have to deal with
Sniping software? There's sniping software, but not for our computer system.
So your system can keep the bots out?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what I don't know. I don't know that there's a bot that can hack the proxy bid system, which is the system we're on.
Interesting. And tell us a little bit more. How did you get into this business?
How did I get into it?
Yeah. What's the backstory?
I had an eBay store and an Amazon store, and eBay took my store from $1 million to $50,000 in inventory. So I had employees and overhead, so I couldn't do eBay anymore. They could just flick the button, and then I'm out of business. So I had to close that. Well, I still have the eBay store, but we just don't sell anything from it because there's no seller protection. I'm unprotected when I go to sell my items. So I needed a better outlet. The customers were upset. Their stuff wasn't selling fast enough. The inventory was exploding. I need a bigger warehouse. So the auction format is the best format. We get eBay prices here, but we don't without the 100% buyer protection.
Interesting. And then when I spoke to you maybe a couple weeks ago, you were trying to hire someone to help with sales and marketing. Did you find that person yet?
Not yet. I'm trying to switch my son back into sales. Me and him were doing the sales, but I'm probably going to try to switch him back into sales after the 10th because I've got someone new scheduled to come in after the 10th. But we're always looking for rock stars, people that want to work, go-getters, people that want to get paid for what they do. And we're always looking for rock stars.
And then what kinds of people are you trying to network with? I mean, you obviously want great things to sell. Is it estate planning attorneys, or is it people that are, who's the ideal person for you to network with?
Well, there isn't like one ideal person because, we could have an introvert who's like a non-connector, non-influencer, and maybe his uncle dies and he has $1 million worth of artwork. Or, you never know. You don't know what you don't know. So we don't have like an ideal customer, but we tend to gravitate towards the influencers, like the networkers, the people that know everyone in town, they touch a lot of different people.
Interesting. So it looks like Kat has finally logged in. I know she was having some technical difficulties, and I'm not sure, Kat, if you figured out what's going on, but our guest speaker today is Craig Casey of NorthCountyAuctions.com, and we're just talking about selling things online. So if you would like to ask any questions about online auctions or anything like that, feel free to do so. Let's see, who else might have another question for Craig? All right, well, let's see, Craig, what else can you tell us? When is your next auction?
Next auction ends on Sunday. That's the Chula Vista Boatyard auction. But the good thing about the auctions is, it's basically online shopping. There's no deposit. You don't have to pay in order to bid. There's no registration fee with us. And if you don't win anything, you don't pay anything. So we always have our auctions on a Sunday at 5:15, so you can relax with a beverage and enjoy the blinking lights and kind of compete for the stuff that you want, and just watch the stuff that you don't. And it's kind of a game almost. So people enjoy the auction game, and then they get good deals for a fair price.
Excellent. Well, let's see. Unless anyone else has any more questions, I would just open it up for additional general networking. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording right now. And I want to thank again Craig Casey of NorthCountyAuctions.com. Fantastic job. And let me go ahead and do that.